Alright, no need for an intro. Y'all know why y'all clicked this video. We're gonna be reviewing this bad boy right over here. And yes, I'm in my undies because I'm about to spend the next 2 hours figuring out how this toy works. Let's do this. Alrighty, y'all, and here we have just a quick look at the box and how it looks. I do want to say megahouse did an amazing job on this box because I love what they did here with the window. Since this box was so big, I had to go ahead and just angle my camera differently. So if this looks kind of weird, I'm sorry. Trying my best here, y'all. Anyways, I love what megahouse did here with the box and how it has like the flame effect. Mera no mi. But I do think that really does give a nice touch to this box. And of course, megahouse is a company that makes these type of figures. The side, you can see right there, you got the Variable Action Heroes DX, and that is the one that we got. And on the DX, you get all these faces that you see down here. As you can see on the side, this is also part of the lineup, or it's a mix, I guess you can say, of the Portrait of Pirates that megahouse actually does do that lineup as well. And I do love some of the figures in that lineup, but then they also do Variable Action Heroes, so it's a mix of those two. Of course, we got Portgas D Ace right there. If that's not an accurate face sculpt, I don't know what is. And the bottom of the box, we got the lovely Japanese language right there. And we got another picture of Ace, and he looks just as lovely. This is the other side of the box, similar to the one on the right, and then the top of the box right there. Now, I already previously opened this figure, and because, I knew that I was gonna spend a while, you know, just playing with this guy. But I just want to show you guys what comes right out of the box. So as you can see, that's how Ace comes right there, the actual figure. You got the faces right here on the left hand side, an extra little hairpiece that connects the hat with it. You got Ace's knife right there, that looks pretty awesome. And then you got some different hands, and of course the extra face that I was telling you about. Ace, nice. And below Ace, we have another plastic shell right over here with some flame effects that, whew, I am definitely gonna learn how to use those. And of course, we got some stands that I also gotta learn to use. Boom! And here is everything out of the box. We're gonna be taking a look at every single accessory that comes inside of the box, and of course, the figure as well. Now, right out of the box, I already gave Ace a little stance like he's ready to battle. I wouldn't pick a fight with that guy. Starting off with the faces, we got a straight looking face here, and I gotta say, this face sculpt is amazing. I loved the way that megahouse does these face sculpts. And of course, in Portrait of Pirates, you can see that they do a great job with the One Piece sculpts, you know, the characters that they do. So this is awesome. You can see Ace freckles right there, and then yeah, just pretty much a straight face. Then we got a or a nani type of face. Then we got Ace smiling. I can't believe he's gone. You know what? I don't even have to say anything for this one, but yeah, you guys can see how good this is. Now this is also the extra face that does come with Ace, and I gotta say it is so good. They did an amazing job. I mean, you can even see some of Ace's snot falling out there, and oh, it looks incredible. And yeah, the tears, the snot, it feels like, you know, different pieces. It is actually different pieces of plastic. So yeah, it looks very three-dimensional. I think they did an amazing job here. Last but not least, we got the extra hairpiece, and this is the one that connects the hat. Moving on to the cool stuff, we got some fire effects. I gotta say, they look amazing. The clear plastic that they use for these fire effects look legit. Some smaller fire effects right there. These are for Ace's finger pistols, or like he says, Higan! These lovely fire fists need no explanation. Next up, we got Ace's iconic hat, and the details on this hat are extraordinary. I do have to say, man, megahouse does such an incredible job. Let me see if I can get that. Oh yeah, look at that, you guys. That is magnifique. And last but not least, we got Ace's battle knife. If the stupid camera can focus. And this thing is not short of detail either. It looks equally as amazing. Of course, we do have the stand and the stand pieces, and these are actually detachable. You can actually control the height of how you want to have Ace, pretty much if you want him flying, or if you want him, you know, like on the floor. Of course, we got the base as well. Before I forget, let's talk about the hands. We got a pair of grabbing hands. We got a pair of pointing hands, and of course a lovely pair of pew-pew hands. Pew-pew! But finally, let's go ahead and take a look at the Ace figure, and I just want to go ahead and say, this thing looks incredible. Megahouse does not disappoint, and I'm just talking about the way he looks, the sculpts of his body. Oh my god, so many muscles, abs for days. I think they did a really good job with his skin tone. They added the right amount of shadows, and I don't know, they did a great job. It actually looks like the character from the anime. And as you can see, the face sculpts, like we have mentioned before, the ones we already talked about, it looks incredible what Megahouse did here with the face sculpts. They did a really good job. Even his hair looks just as good. And then, of course, right there we got the Ace tattoo with the S scratched out. You got right there his little shoulder pad. It's a really nice touch that they also added Ace's log pose and his wristband. And oh, this thing looks incredible. One thing I also did want to mention, of course, do not forget, Ace is wearing his iconic beads all around his neck, and they look great. They put a little bit like metallic looking paint on the beads, but it makes them look really good. You know, makes them pop. And of course, you can't have an Ace figure without this tattoo being on his back. Moving down to Ace's glutes. Down here where his bumpies are, I think they did an amazing job with the shorts as well. The shadings look amazing, and I love it's like a mix of black, a little bit of gray, almost a white coloring. I don't know if it's my light maybe that makes it look like that. Little blue pouch right there. They're so exact. And then look at his belt buckle, even says A for Ace, of course. His legs and his boots, most of all. Ooh, they look awesome! His iconic shoes. Of course, this is how we first saw Ace when he was introduced. He was wearing these shoes right here. Later on, of course, he changed to a smaller type of shoe. More like slip-ons in a way. But these, they look so good. And then just look at the bottom. Ooh, them threads. That's what I'm talking about. Let's talk right now a little bit about his face sculpt. So we're gonna go ahead and change this one. And let's see how it comes off. I know it was practice. Oh yes, that's right. So you remove his hairpiece first. Boom. Then his face. Bam. And then put another face. And boom. New face right there. Here's this one, and probably my favorite one. And of course, the face that debatably we never really wanted to see. But I wanted to show you guys real quick how to use the other hairpiece that we can use Ace's hat with. So let's go ahead and take the face off. You have to actually bring this little piece with you to connect the other hairpiece, and I'm gonna show you guys why. The new one, so you just kind of do the same thing, disconnect the top half of the hairpiece, and then put this part in that little hole that you see in the center, push it in, boom, then put the face on and the top of the hairpiece. Then we need Sanji to give us back Ace's hat. Thank you very much for holding that for us, Sanji. And you can see the little pegs right there for the hat. You can just push Ace's face right in, and you just grab Ace's face, kind of like you put your finger in there and push it in, and it should go in pretty easy. And then take a look at that. So we're gonna take the hat off for a bit so I can show you guys how to put on some of these flame effects that actually comes with Ace. Now, while they might feel a little tricky to put on at first, you kind of just snap them on there, and they just stick, I guess you could say. But yeah, it takes a little bit of, you know, just moving it around, seeing what angle it goes on, and then eventually you will get it. There it goes. Oh, there it is. Now that's an example. I know you can do it different ways. You can make it look differently. Maybe move it around a little bit right there where the elbow is, to your liking. But yeah, these flame effects really will help you with some awesome poses. Ace also comes with these flame effects here that look much bigger, that you actually attach to his beads. So you figure out which one's the right and the left one. Bam, there goes that one. So yeah, you can move these around, guys, and you can really just do it different ways. Like I said before, this is my very first action figure. And man, I am just dipping my feet in the water and learning here with you guys. Since I'm such a noob at this, I almost forgot about Ace's little knife over here. So that, you actually just attach it to the side. You can see a little ball joint right there, and then you just connect it, and it should hang on right there. So that looks much better. We're about to put these on, but to do this, you got to do a couple things. We're gonna start by removing these hands with the fire effect on them, And with this one, I did want to show you guys something, and we are going to talk about a little bit of a negative here as well. So when I was taking these two out, I removed the bracelet, but then I removed the lock pose, and bam, paint wash. And I was like, I hate this. So yeah, that's a little bit of a bummer. It totally sucks, but I really hate that happened. I guess that is something to watch out for if you are looking to get this figure, or if you already have this figure. I would also love to ask you, if you're watching this video, did this maybe happen to yours? Did you get a little bit of paint wash rubbed off the skin whenever you remove the lock pose? Let me know down in the comment section. And there we have Ace about to unleash his fire fist. So he looks great, and you can do a bunch of great poses with him. Now, I don't find myself using the stand as much, you guys. I don't know if you guys have this figure. Let me know if y'all use the stands that much. I didn't really like it, to be honest with you. So you get two different attachments here. You attach one part to the bottom or the base, and then the other part if you want to make it a little bit taller. Yeah, the stand is one of the most annoying pieces in my opinion. The reason why is because you have all those pieces, right? And you can connect them to the base, and you go just put it right there. But these two pieces connect like this. So you put the small one connected to the large one, insert that in there. Then once you have that, what you got to do here is that you got to connect this part into these little holes. The only part about that is not actually putting them on, because putting them on is actually easy. And then you can, of course, adjust it to the size you want to put it on, or how high or how low you want to have Ace. But after you do that, taking it out of there is such a pain in the ass. I mean, you have to have some next level nails to take it out. I guess I got used to it. Yeah, it's not that good of a stand in my opinion. I'd rather not use it, so I'm just gonna put it to the side. Gonna hit you guys with some poses now, and then we're gonna go ahead and finish up with articulation and my final thoughts on this figure. At the end of the day, there's many different ways that you can post this Ace figure, but I just gotta say, as a One Piece fan, but also as an Ace fan, I love this figure. Now, it does have a few negatives and a few cons, in my opinion, that we're gonna get into, but before we do so, let's quickly talk about the articulation. So let's go ahead and get started with the head. With the head, you can go about that far back. You can't really go any further back, because then eventually his hair does hit his beads right there. One little thing also that I didn't want to mention, his beads, they are glued, so you can't really remove it, which is a little bit of a bummer, but you just got to deal with that. And then down, Ace will go about that far with his head. Eventually you are going to have to remove Ace's hat so you can pose him in different ways and do more actiony pose, because eventually it might get in the way with some of the stuff you want to do. But besides that, his head does swivel. Moving on to his arms, as you can see right there, we got a ball joint that lets us just move it around, and then there is also one over here which lets you move that. What I did have trouble with posing Ace and sometimes is whenever I wanted to do certain action poses, I did have to move this around, and then eventually what ended up happening is that his tattoo wasn't matching, you know, with the pose that I was doing. So sometimes I have to put his arm back or his bicep back like that, and I wanted to do different things, but then his tattoo wasn't matching, so that is something to think about. Then we got an elbow joint that lets us move his elbows up and down, and then a wrist joint as well, gives us that 360, and then we can move it around as well. Same thing with his right arm. And one other thing that I did notice, you guys, is that this one, for some reason, the right arm, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's really tough, and for some reason I don't know why that joint is so tough for it to move around. But yeah, I did have a little bit of trouble moving this specific joint around. So if you did pick up this Ace DX, let me know maybe you had trouble with that, but I mean everything else is pretty good. Moving on to the torso, as you can see, he does have a good amount of ab crunch right there, and yeah, you can definitely do some action poses, not Spider-Man like poses with Ace, but you can definitely stretch him out a little bit. Now moving down to Ace's legs, this is where I had a little bit of trouble, namely with his right leg right over here. Sometimes I did want to stretch him out, like, you know, put him on his knees or something like that, and then for some reason, I don't know, I just felt like his right leg just comes off really easily off the peg. And yeah, again, don't know if that's mine, but I did find that to be a little bit bothersome when I was trying to pose him. We can't really have Ace do the splits completely, but he does have a little bit of articulation right there on the legs that lets you do different kinds of action poses. Then with the legs, you do have a swivel, you do have double joints right there on both legs, of course. And down to his feet, of course, his shoes is one thing that I am a big fan of. I just love the way they look. You do have an ankle joint right there that lets you move his foot around, and then a toe hinge, and yeah, that one lets you do some pretty cool stuff as well. And same thing, of course, with his left. Well, it did have a few problems in my opinion, like the leg joint just coming off too easily at times, or the tattoo not lining up whenever you were trying to do certain poses. You know, others had their gripes also about the figure, but I just gotta say, if you're a One Piece fan and if you love Ace, and if you're maybe thinking about getting into action figures, I definitely recommend look into the Variable Action Heroes lineup and look at this Ace. Megahouse has been doing the Variable Action Hero series for a little bit already, and I know there's other figures out there that I want to get my hands on also from the same series, namely, especially one of the poses that I try to do with this crying face. I need Luffy from Marineford so I can pose him with that crying face of Ace and relive an iconic scene, but also a very sad one. Anyways, that's gonna do it for us today, Nakamas. I hope you guys enjoyed my very first action figure review. I hope I did a good job. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. I would love y'all's feedback, and let me know y'all's opinion. Also, what do y'all think about this Ace figure? Is this something you would look into getting? Is this something you already have and you have others in the lineup? Let me know what you think about the others down in the comments as well. Ace is trying to tell you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, or he's gonna Ken your ass. Alrighty, Nakamas, I'll see y'all in the next one. Take care, y'all.